Edo State Governor Senator Gov Okpebholo don tok say the state e-governance platform no dey shut down, but dem dey upgrade am to meet international standard. The governor also don approve say make dem pay the 13th month salary for Edo State workers, plus new policy wey go make first-class graduates from Edo State, whether dem study for Naija or Obodo-Oyibo, automatically enter state civil service. Dis policy go help improve the quality of workforce inside the state civil service. Edo State Head of Service Dr. Anthony Okugbowa Esquire for one tok when he do with Tori pipo come reiterate the position of the governor as e dey address the rumours wey dey go round say dem don shut down the e-gov platform. E con tok say the platform no be political creation but na to help civil servants deliver better services. Say e align with Governor Okpebholo's plan to make civil and public service for Edo State better and stronger.
The true story is that e-gov is live. e-gov is not shut down. It's never been shut down. I worked on e-gov this morning. Just as you came, I was working on e-gov. And yesterday I did, the day before yesterday I did, last 2 weeks I did. So e-gov is working. If you go around, you'll find that our people, our officers are using e-gov. So it's not shut down. What government is doing is to look at it and see if there are some areas of weakness. If there are some areas that we need to improve on. The whole essence is to improve on the system. And you know, Mr. Governor is a tech person, and he knows about all of this very, very well. His interest is to ensure that we have an improvement, substantial improvement on the system. And that's why the review that is going on is going on. But eGov has never been shut down and is working. eGov is quite effective. It's something that has revolutionized the service, and it's something for which those state has received a lot of accolades, and you know, it's something that we're quite proud of. Mr. Governor is proud of it, and his interest is to ensure that we take it to the next level. And that is particularly because he is someone who understands it very well. In fact, once we had a conversation on eGov, nearly 1 hour, the governor was talking about eGov. All of those things I didn't even know. The governor told me about them. You know, so that shows someone who is deep-rooted in terms of knowledge as far as the e-governance is concerned. And he told me that he wants to improve on it. If there are issues that we need to deal with, we will deal with them so that we can take it to the next level of growth and development. We'll continue to be number one in Nigeria on eGov. You know, somebody who does not improve on his knowledge is almost a dead person, you know. So, and there's you can find knowledge everywhere. I'm improving on myself. My MBA, which I obtained recently, is on artificial intelligence. And so if I'm improving on myself, even at this level, I expect that everyone who is a civil servant, who is a public servant today, would make extra effort to improve on himself or herself. And government also has that platform. The opportunities are there in service for you to be able to attend courses. JUPSA is there that does a lot of these courses, even when you have to go out. And this government has committed to ensuring that the civil servant is developed. The civil servant's capacity to render service is significantly upped, you know, with trainings and retrainings. The government has committed to that, and I'm very proud of what is happening. You can see that the platform has been sustained. So the fear was actually misplaced. And we're lucky we have someone who is a tech person who understands the benefits of technology in the business of government. And he's at the helm of affairs. And so he's doing a lot to ensure that this is not just sustained, but is improved upon, because we have to keep raising the ante, you know, upping the ante in terms of growth and development, and that's what this government is doing. So for us civil servants is to be aware that, I mean, it's never been closed, and so they should continue to use it. In fact, it's even an offense now for you not to use it. So these are things that they should know. And then as civil servants, our responsibility is to give 100 total support for the government of the day. It's not 99.9, it is 100% support. And that's what we are giving, and that's what we have a responsibility to give. And we're very glad, you know, that Mr. Governor believes in the civil servant. He has told me several times, I want to use civil servants, I want to work with civil servants. And so that belief is something that we should take as a sign of trust and confidence, and we should not betray that. We should not let the governor down.
Dr. Anthony Okungbowa constantly tok say Governor Okpebholo don approve say make the 13th month salary continue plus quick payment of workers' salary to ginger Edo State workers. E come also tok say the graduate development program wey the last administration start go continue as the governor also don approve am so that dem fit bring quality talent enter inside the civil and public service to make sure say dem deliver better services wey go help the state grow. The head of service constantly tok say the government dey work on policies to give automatic employment to top talents for the system.
You can see I'm smiling. And the reason for that is that Mr. Governor has approved that the 13-month salary will continue to be paid. And we are very grateful to him. It didn't take him any time about it. Anything that would help the civil servant, that will bring succor to him and help him financially, he will do. And so he has approved that the 13th-month salary be paid, going forward. So we'll receive first salary around the middle of next month, and then towards the end of next month, we'll receive another one. So we're very glad, we're happy, all civil servants are happy about this. I want to use the opportunity to thank Mr. Governor for this initiative. We're grateful, and we also want to tell him that as civil servants, we will not slow down on our work. Whatever we need to do to give him support to succeed. The civil service is the fulcrum, is the foundation, is the engine of government. And so for us, we are ready to provide that momentum that we need to provide for government policies and programs to succeed. And we're also very happy to realize and note that the government is strengthening that engine so that the engine can have bigger and greater capacity to perform. I'm very glad to inform the public that Mr. Governor has approved. They will have quality manpower within the system. That's what the graduate development program is all about. Mr. Governor has approved that we'll continue with it, and we're going to improve on it as well. And I'm also glad to inform the public that Mr. Governor has also approved that the policy developed by the immediate past administration of bringing in first-class graduates into the system is sustained. Mr. Governor believes that it will help us bring in top quality talent into the system, but he's also interested in not just bringing them in, but also retaining them, because that's one major part of the problems that we've had. You bring them, and then before you know what's happening, some of them are leaving. So Mr. Governor is very much intentional about that, and wants to see that these top-level talents not only come in, but also stay and work with us. So this is sounding it out to all of us out there. If you have a first-class degree, come over. You have automatic appointment. But we're looking at the younger graduates, from 2020. Mr. Governor may wish to extend that in future, but right now, anyone who comes out with first class from any university in Nigeria or abroad, and you are an Edo citizen, you automatically get employed in the Edo State Civil and Public Service. So it's something that we're happy about, and we appreciate the governor for. We want to thank him, because through this, we'll have quality addition in terms of talent, top talent in this system. So we're very grateful to Mr. Governor.
Dr. Desmond Agbama, Permanent Secretary for Ministry of Communication and Orientation, plus Omoragbon Iwinosa Jackson, wey be Human Resource Officer for Edo State Civil Service, come talk say since the e-governance platform start, e dey transparent, fast and accurate for the way dem dey handle files and documents.
I'm about to work on files and requests on the e-gov. So it has been very, very useful. It creates a way for the ease of doing government business and transaction. E-gov facilitates our job, and it creates room for efficiency too and effectiveness. Yes. However, things that has to do with technology, there's always room for improvement. Anything that has advantage also has its own challenges. So for the e-gov, some of the things we experience here is connectivity, network connectivity. At times is difficult. So secondly, the e-gov needs to be improved upon so that members of the public could access some basic information. For example, the Ministry of Communications and Orientation, we gazette government laws, appointment and all that. So if we put it into electronic format and put it on the eGov, people should be able to access it from any part of the world. That is it. But on the other side too, maybe government need to look at the back ends and who controls the server and everything. So the civil servants need to have or government need to have ownership of that instead of exposing it to other members of the public. So the civil servant could be trained to be able to handle the server or the website providing. So those are some of the things I think. But by and large, ICT is the way to go. I call it the new world. So we cannot be analog in this 21st century when even technology, AI, is taking over the whole wide world. Having said that, documentation is also important, no matter what we do. Just like His Excellency Senator Gov Okpebholo said, he said, in as much as he believes in eGov, he equally believes in documentation. So that, God forbid, anything happens to the technology and it crashed, you should be able to fall back on those documentation. So these are the things we need to streamline in the use of eGov. We should not do away totally with documentation while we improve on the performance of the eGov platform.
The e-governance system has so many gains. There are numerous gains about the e-governance system. Like for instance, if you are to compare the e-governance system with the old way of working, when an officer will have to carry, files and, work with files and all of that, I'll just itemize them. The first gain about the e-governance system is that there is agility in the work process. Like for instance, I'm a human resource officer. I'm actually working on something right now. In the old way, what I would normally do is to go to the registry, get a file, a working file, and bring the file to my desk, work on the file, then get a clerical officer to take it to the next, officer to either vet or something. But what I do is I receive a correspondence or a request on my system, even as I'm here right now, and I'm working on it. As soon as I'm done, I forward it through the same system. I don't leave here. And it goes straight to the next officer. So the agility of the work is the first gain. And second thing is transparency. The moment I send, I forward the file through the e-governance system, I am privy to the extent to which the file has gone, the officer to which the correspondence is with. And the officer is even aware that the officer who has forwarded such a correspondence is tracking the system. So it enables the officer to want to keep, pace on the work without delaying. You understand? So, and again, in the old system, it is very common for people to say that civil servants are very wicked with hiding files. So in this particular e-governance system, no officer can actually hide a file, because the moment the file gets to you, the officer that forwarded the file is aware that the file is with you. And sometimes there are correspondence that has a chain from His Excellency. So if you are to delay a particular file that you're working on in the system, His Excellency himself will be aware. And another thing again is there is a way the e-governance system generates a query by itself. So the maximum period within which an officer is expected to work on a file is 48 hours. So if it exceeds that particular period of time, the system itself generates a query for such an officer. So you can see that there is agility, there is transparency. It just makes the work process beautiful. Yeah, the backup system, like I believe everyone who is in Edo State now is aware of, we have a very, very effective data center system. It's a top-notch. It's one of the best in the, I think to the best of my knowledge, it's one of the best in the sub-Saharan region. So it is something that anyone can bank on. You can bank on the data center system that we have in Edo State. So I think it is very effective.
Make una no forget, say, as we see am, na so we dey talk am. We no dey take blame. From Benin City, Ekata Ojesole, TMC TV News.